Coach Bray and their staff and their program, great credit. I think they're just a really, really, really good offensive team, maybe the best offensive team in this league. They're highly skilled, very well coached, and they're just, you can't leave points on the board because they'll make you pay for it based on their offensive skill set. And they're a good basketball team. I've been on our guys about, one of our big things for this year is about offensive rebounding. We did a great job in that category. We had 20 offensive boards, which has been an important part of our being better offensively this year. And so we've done a good job on the glass, and we did a good job this afternoon on that. We did a good job in the red zone, 44-18 advantage us, and we did a good job on taking care of the basketball, and we've continued to make good strides on that with only 5 turnovers. The bottom line came down to they hit some tough twos, and they made 9 threes, and we didn't make enough threes. We were 4 for 18, and that made it tough. 3 points, the 3-point shot's the equalizer, and as much as we got offensive rebounds and 23 more shot attempts, the 3-point shot's the equalizer. And we didn't score in transition offense. We missed some opportunities there, and obviously we missed some layup opportunities also. But so you got to give Notre Dame credit, and like I said, they're a really good basketball team, very well coached, and they've got really skilled offensive players. I think they might be the best offensive team in the league.
It seems like they really funneled their defense to Bubba and Jose on the outside to keep them from getting the ball with decent looks.
I don't think they guarded Khalid or Jordan or Evan or Moses anytime they, and not unless they were in the paint. So that made it tough. And that's, not having Mike DeVoe hurts us in that scenario because it takes away another shooter that's not in the game on that situation. And so we just got to keep, tinkering with it until, and keep, but it happened to us earlier in the year when Jose wasn't playing. They didn't guard, they didn't guard certain guys, and so it continued to make it a little bit tough for us. So we just got to keep staying after it, and that's why we've been a good offensive rebounding team, because if we're not going to make threes, which we're the lowest team in the ACC on relying on 3-point production. We've taken the fewest threes, and we've have relied on the 3-point shot for scoring the lowest in the ACC. But we're number 1 in 2-point field goal attempts, or 2-point field goal percentage, and number 1 in usage of scoring from twos. So, and that's part of us is getting on the glass and trying to help score that way when guys aren't being guarded.
It seemed like you had a lot of shots at the basket
that we missed.
Yeah. And it's funny because it'd been the opposite, where the offense was getting baskets and scoring well, but the turnovers, and today it flipped.
Yeah, no, Ken, we took care of the ball. We had a lot of short shots right there and some key times that we just did not finish, including on some fast break opportunities. We had that stretch where Evan missed that dunk, and then he missed that short shot. Khalid had a couple opportunities right there. We just, you can't miss those short shots when you're playing against a team that is that skilled offensively, and we're down, our best shooter in a sense, so that we have to take advantage of those, red zone shots, which we did. We had 44 points, but we maybe could have had, 64, if we made more layups. But
to me, something that also stuck out was Moses had 1 foul in the first half, and he picks up 3 in the first 5 minutes of the second half. And he was on his way to a triple-double at that point before he picked up the 4th foul.
Yeah, and I when I took him out for that, I think I took him out for a minute or two, and they made a little bit of a run, and because he was playing really, really well. He ended up with 17, 8, and 4, and with 3 blocks. But yeah, that foul trouble, and yeah, once he went out for the 2-minute stretch, that's when they made their run.
You called that timeout. It was 11:42. What were you seeing? Actually, they were getting away, but what did you see that wasn't working, or there was?
Well, I just called time because I thought they were on a little bit of a run, and that we needed to. I just told our guys, hey, there's a lot of time left. Like, we've got a long way to go. It's a lot of game, but we're going to have to get some stops here, and because we were scoring. And I wanted to stay aggressive, but we got to get some stops. And the biggest thing, though, Ken, is they hit some tough twos. I mean, I thought Gibbs hit a couple tough shots, like good defense, better offense. I thought Pfluger had that turnaround shot. It was good defense, better offense. Mooney hit a couple tough. I mean, you know, he hit a couple shots. I mean, he came in 3 for 18 from 3-point line, did it, you know, and then he in conference play. And today he's 2 for 5. And I don't think he was shooting the free throw well. And he's 8 for 9. Just it is what it is. But I thought there was a lot of times, like the first 3 that they hit on us in the first half. The first 3 that they hit, Pfluger in the corner. James was literally in his face with his hand there. It was a good defense, better offense. And that's right. I'm telling you, I think Notre Dame's the best offensive team in the league.
It seemed like they kind of dared Jordan to score around, and he had a rough
they
night.
just took the guy guarding Jordan. They took him and sat him on the block. They did the same thing with Khalid, you know. And Jordan tried to attack the rim, but I told Jordan you can't shoot your way out of it. If your feet are set and it's a one more, but we're gonna have to, you know, we're gonna have to cut. We got to get going on and transition. And we were trying to do some things to move around in some, you know, some false motion, but they just didn't, you know, guard a couple of our guys. And that's where it makes it a little bit tough for us because, you know, 3-point shots equalizer. But they're not doing that. We've got to then take advantage of offensive rebounding, which we've been pretty good to this point on offensive rebounding, which is an effort-based deal. And unfortunately, we missed a lot of short shots that we, instead of having, like I said, 44 points in the paint, we should have had 64.
Did you think about trying, I know defensively maybe it's a little bit of a swap out, but David or Asante or Shambari, they'd shoot a little bit better maybe?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I just, you know, I kind of stuck with the 7-man rotation this afternoon.
And did you give any thought to like running something for Bubba to get him open for a...
I thought Bubba, you know, Bubba played 35 minutes and he had 0 turnovers. He played the right way. Our offense really wasn't the problem. You know, we scored 72. The problem was we missed a lot of, I mean, we did obviously make some threes, but we missed a lot of short shots. I mean, there's not much you can do to draw up. We just missed those layups. So, you know, we left a lot of points on the board, Ken, with our missed layups, a lot. When I look back on the film, I got to imagine it's 10 to 14 points minimum that we left on the board with just point blank, you know, just right there at the rim, you know, layups.
What do you make of the evolution of Mooney during his career here, and how tough a guard is he?
I think Mooney's excellent. I'm a big fan of Mooney. Too bad Billy Donovan didn't stay in college because he's just been a Georgia Tech killer. I just think he's really, really good. And when you rebound like he rebounds, I think there's a place for him in professional basketball because that stat translates. And I think he's a really good basketball player. And I just can't wait for him to graduate and move on. You know what I mean? Because he's really, really good.
Do you have a timetable for Michael at all? Is it getting better?
I don't know. We'll just take it day by day. I think probably Tuesday. You know, I hope he plays Tuesday, but it's probably, I would say, doubtful or questionable because it's a quick turnaround. But hopefully by next Saturday, he's ready to go versus Pitt.